long ride home, a taxi. It was just past midnight when I left the bar, the city air thick with the scent of rain and gasoline. The streets were quieter than usual, most people already home, curled up in their warm beds. But I wasn't that lucky. My apartment was across town and the last bus had already come and gone. I pulled my phone from my pocket, hoping to get a rideshare, but the screen blinked with no signal. Typical. Just my luck. That's when I saw the taxi. It was parked at the curb under a flickering street lamp, its engine humming softly. The cab was old, the kind with a dull yellow body and a black vinyl top. No company name, no phone number, just a small faded taxi sign perched on the roof. The driver sat motionless in the front seat, barely visible through the windshield. He didn't honk, didn't roll down the window to ask if I needed a ride. He just waited. Something about it felt off, but it was late, and I was tired. I stepped closer and hesitated, peering into the driver's side window. The man inside was pale, almost too pale. His skin stretched tight over high cheekbones. His hands, long and bony, rested on the wheel. He turned his head slightly, and though I couldn't see his eyes in the shadows, I felt them watching me. The back door clicked open. I should have walked away. I should have waited for the morning bus. Instead, I got in. The wrong road. The interior smelled of old leather and something faintly metallic. I slid onto the worn seat, the door shutting behind me with a heavy thud. The driver didn't ask for my destination. He simply pulled away from the curb. I cleared my throat. 312 Willow Lane. No response. I leaned forward slightly. Hey, did you hear me? The driver nodded once. Slow, deliberate. Then he flicked the meter on, though the numbers didn't move. Something was wrong. I glanced at my phone. Still no signal. The city streets outside looked unfamiliar, too dark, the buildings blending into shadowy silhouettes. Hey, I think you're going the wrong way, I said, forcing a chuckle to hide my unease. No answer. The only sound was the steady hum of the tires on the wet pavement. I swallowed hard. Sir, seriously, I need to get home. The driver finally spoke, his voice low and rasping. This is the way. A chill crawled up my spine. What do you mean? The radio crackled to life, cutting me off. A voice slithered through the static, distorted and whispering. Another one for the ride. Another lost one. Another fare paid in blood. My breath caught in my throat. What the hell was that? I asked, my voice shaking. The driver didn't answer. His grip on the wheel tightened, his knuckles turning bone white. The world outside the windows was shifting. The streetlights weren't normal anymore. Their glow flickered erratically, casting shadows that twisted and writhed like living things. The buildings warped, their shapes stretching impossibly tall before dissolving into darkness. We weren't in the city anymore. I pressed my hand to the glass, hard hammering. Stop the car. The driver didn't react. I reached for the door handle, locked. Stop the goddamn car, I yelled. The driver exhaled sharply, and for the first time, he turned to face me. I wish he hadn't. His eyes were hollow, empty sockets filled with writhing darkness. His mouth stretched too wide, his loud, uneven teeth. His lips peeling back to reveal rows of yellowed, uneven teeth. His skin sagged as if it barely clung to his skull. I recoiled, pressing myself against the seat. The car kept moving, faster now. The road beneath us wasn't asphalt anymore. It was black, endless, a void, swallowing everything around it. I slammed my fists against the window, but the glass wouldn't break. The radio crackled again, voices murmuring in unison. No escape, no return. Another lost soul for the road. I turned back to the driver, who was still watching me. Please, I whispered, my voice barely audible over the growing hum of something wrong. The driver's mouth twisted into a grotesque grin. The fare is paid, he rasped. The fare is paid. I closed my eyes, heart pounding, breath shallow. And then, silence. I woke up to the sound of honking. I was sitting on a bench at a deserted bus stop. My clothes were damp with morning dew, my phone blinking with a new notification. Thank you for your ride. See you again soon. The timestamp, tomorrow.